Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Sebastian Joaquin Jose Rodrigo Enriquez III.
And Diana Davidson.
With your E9 News.
Our first story tonight is on the topic of Japan's condition since World War II.
Yes, Diana. After Japanese surrender and the emperor being stripped of his power, the United States occupied the island nation for several years.
America helped to reform Japan by allowing everybody to have an education, giving equal rights to women, and giving farmland to farmers without any.
The country's newly made constitution established Japan as a parliamentary democracy. As democracy took shape in Japan, the Liberal Democratic Party, a coalition of different government factions, rose to power and dominated politics up to the 1990s.
As part of the 1952 peace treaty with the USA, America was allowed to set up military bases in Japan. That in turn gave the Japanese the benefit of America's military protection.
Any money to go towards their own armies, the nation was able to focus more on building industry. Japan soon emerged as a major player in the world market, producing steel, machinery, cars, and a large variety of electronics.
After World War II, Japan enjoyed a thriving capitalist economy and a comfortable trade surplus.
Now on to our next report, featuring the effects World War II had on communist uprising in China. E9 News' very own Isabella Dombrowski got the chance to sit down and interview China's chief news correspondent, General Dumb Guy, in Beijing.
Now we go. That was your...
Now we go to Isabel Dombrowski.
Thank you, Diana. I'd also like to thank General Dumb Guy for taking time out of his busy schedule to talk with me today.
Oh no, the pleasure is all mine. We're all huge fans of you, Bella, back home in China. On behalf of the People's Charter Republic, of China, I'd like to present you with the Chinese flag.
Oh, how kind. To start off our interview, I'd like to ask you how the Communist Party rose to power in China after World War II.
What a great way to begin. Many people, particularly Chinese peasants at the time, were displeased with the current government in place. They viewed it as repressive and corrupt. The communists were viewed as defenders of the country. We promised tax and land reforms, and World War II helped to lower their faith in the government and also to heighten the communist popularity. Our army gained control of city after city. The party's leader, Chairman Mao Zedong, became China's new head of state.
How was Chinese society impacted by the shift in leadership and the form of government?
Communist ideology soon replaced the teachings of traditional beliefs like Confucianism as well as Buddhism. Private property was taken and redistributed to the people. A great deal of people who belonged to the bourgeoisie were sent to the beautiful Chinese countryside to rectify their thinking through hard labor.
In what ways did the communists try to strengthen the economy of the People's Republic of China?
Well, we built factories and dams. In an effort to boost productivity, we set up a lot of collective farms.
Very interesting. Those are the same techniques used by the Soviet Union. What is the relationship between China and the USSR like?
Good question. Stalin sent a lot of people to China in order to help us modernize, but due in part to disputes over territory, there was quite a bit of tension between the two of us. The Soviets returned to the USSR, and we don't maintain as strong as an alliance as some had feared.
Question before we're out of time, General Dumb Guy. How are things with Western powers going?
We're doing okay, I guess. In 1971, we joined the United Nations, and in 1979, we started formal diplomatic relations with the United States.
We're out of time here, so our thanks from E9 News to you, General, one last time. Now head live to South Korea with E9 reporter Ayanna Muñoz. Ayanna?
Alright, thank you, Bella. I'm here today with South Korean War veteran and political scientist, Dr. Monkey Boy. Thank you for taking the time out to answer a few questions for E9 News, Dr. Boy.
Oh, I would have preferred to speak to Bella, but I guess you'll suffice.
Okay. Can you start by telling me what was the agreement between the USA and the USSR about Korea after Japan surrendered in World War II? What were the governments of North and South Korea?
North Korea was a communist dictatorship and ally of the Soviet Union. South Korea was a non-communist dictatorship and ally of the U.S.
And how did the Korean War begin?
The U.S. sent United Nations forces to defend South Korea. In response, China sent hundreds of thousands of soldiers to help North Korea. The war reached deadlock, and in 1953, a treaty to end the fighting was signed. Peace treaty has never been made, so it's as if the war is just on pause.
What are their economies like?
The strict communist policies of North Korea make it difficult economy to start up and move compared to the economic booms experienced by South Korea's capitalist market economy. North Korea has a lot of poverty.
What is the social impact totalism has had on North Korea?
Everything is censored there. Those suspected of not supporting the regime are sent to concentration camps. The leader is portrayed as a god and
That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining me today, Dr. Monkey Boy, and thanks everybody for choosing E9 News as a reliable source of information. Good night.